Drafting rookies for your fantasy football team can make or break your fantasy season. I'm Bill Enright with Sports Illustrated senior fantasy analyst Michael Fabiano. Fabs, let's break down some of these rookies, right? Because we need to know who's going to make an instant impact. And I want to start with the running backs.
And let's start off with Najee Harris. We all wanted him to go to Pittsburgh. We got our wish. He's going to be the featured back for the Steelers for many years to come, including 2021, where he will open the season ahead of Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland, and Kalen Ballage. I have him ranked among my top 15 running backs in redrafts. He's probably going to be one of the top 3 picks in dynasty formats. Mike Tomlin loves to use a featured back. He always has, whether it's been Willie Parker, Le'Veon Bell, Rashard Mendenhall, James Conner. So I think this is a great spot for Harris. And then Michael Carter out of North Carolina ends up in a great spot with the New York Jets. Now, he's only 5'8". Not sure if he's going to be a true featured back, but to me, he's the most attractive running back the Jets have. And that's Tevin Coleman, who's, well, past his prime. LaMichael Pirine, Ty Johnson. You get the drift. Michael Carter is going to be a very draftable asset, and he should be a very valuable asset in PPR leagues as well because he is a very versatile back.
All right, let's move over to wide receiver because there was a bunch of them picked very early in the first round, but which ones are going to have that instant impact all fantasy managers really want?
Let's start with Jamar Chase. The Bengals needed offensive line help, but they couldn't pass on reconnecting Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. The last time these two guys were on the same field together playing for the same team, it was LSU. It was 2019, and Chase was putting up just bananas numbers, 20 touchdowns, over 21 yards a catch. I'm not saying he's going to do that as a rookie, but I think he will be the best rookie wide receiver because he's got that built-in rapport. And I guess we have to pour one out for T. Higgins because his value has taken a major hit. I think Jamar Chase could be a wide receiver too from a fantasy perspective. Not going to be Justin Jefferson, but he'll be very good. And then Devontae Smith. He lands in a great spot too, Bill, with the Philadelphia Eagles, whose number 1 wide receiver is who? Well, it might be Devontae Smith, right? Because you've got Jalen Reagor and not much else there. So he'll be one of the most targeted players on the Eagles. It's going to be him and Dallas Goedert. We'll see if they part ways with Zach Ertz, whether via release or trade in the next coming months. But Devontae Smith is going to be drafted very likely as a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 from a fantasy perspective. In redrafts, will be a first-round pick in Dynasty. I will say this, though, guys. Don't get too crazy with the rookies. Okay, I know we've seen some really good performances from rookies over the last few seasons, including Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk. Typically, these guys are not going to put up huge numbers in that first NFL season. So I would temper expectations. I wouldn't draft these guys too highly, but Devontae Smith is in a good spot to succeed. And, of course, he's back with Jalen Hurts.
All right, let's move over to tight end, and it has now become a law. You cannot talk about a rookie, any player, without bringing up the name Kyle Pitts. So here we are talking about Kyle Pitts, who went through the Atlanta Falcons with that 4th overall selection.
He's a tight end in a wide receiver's body. He was tremendous over his last couple of seasons at Florida. He's considered a generational talent. That's why Atlanta took him, and they didn't really need a tight end. They had Hayden Hurst. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so he's going to be gone after 2021. And Pitts, I know that typically rookie tight ends don't put up big fantasy numbers. They don't. I mean, there's only been 2 in the last 20 years or so who've been top 12 players at the position in their first year. I think Pitts will be the 3rd. And I'm not saying he's going to be a top 5 tight end. I don't think he's going to break into that stratosphere. Julio Jones is in the mix, at least right now. Calvin Ridley, Justin Gage. Hurst will still see some targets. But I have Pitts in my top 10. I have him right in that 7 to 8 range right now. I just feel like, Bill, people are going to overdraft him in redrafts based on all of the hype. Keep in mind, folks, if he comes out and has 50 to 60 catches for 600 or 700 yards and maybe 6 touchdowns, that's a really good season for a rookie tight end. That's not going to put him in the top 5, though.
Dynasty leagues, obviously totally different. Kyle Pitts likely going to be a top 5 pick for Dynasty formats.
He could be the first overall pick, Bill, in a lot of those Dynasty drafts.
That would be a little bit of craziness to me.
I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, Fabs, I know you got plenty more rookie breakdowns. You can check it all out. Go to Sports Illustrated, si.com/fantasy.